Alvarez'S 2 touches on the ball and the missed penalty kick. The drama of the evening favored Madrid. A rough day for Vinicius Jr. We'll break down all the plays of the Brazilian forward. And Jude's reaction to the plastic bottle thrown from the stands. It will definitely amaze you. Madrid against Atletico. In this video, we'll break down all the most interesting moments. Thanks in advance for the likes and subscribing to the channel, and we're getting started now. Carlo's starting lineup has no surprises. Asensio and Rudiger in the center of defense. Valverde is on the right wing, in the center is Madrid, and up front is our attacking trio. It's interesting to see what the Madrid fans' reaction was to Atletico's starting lineup. I'm crying. They put 2 defensive players on the left flank because they're so afraid of Rodrigo. They become even more defensive. I give up. But this supposedly defensive lineup of Atletico did not prevent the players from playing brilliantly in attack and creating chances. Madrid lost the duel to their opponents in shots on target. And Courtois had plenty of work to do to keep it to just 1 goal. Carlo didn't hide how tough this game was and how exhausted the players were after the match. We didn't play our best football, but the main thing is that we stayed calm. We knew it would be tough, but we're used to matches like this. It's a tough season with way too many games, and we're all feeling it. Fincher, the match hadn't even started, and Madrid already conceded. It happened at the 27-second mark. Catastrophe. How can you start playing so poorly? Mendy failed to close his flank, Asensio and Valverde failed to clear the ball and follow Gallagher to the end. And the bewilderment on the faces of the Madrid players. What even happened? I was afraid that we wouldn't be able to control the game. It was important to maintain balance in order to carry out fast attacks. In the second half, we played confidently in our half of the field, and as you saw, that led to the penalty. We'll discuss the penalty shootout, the main drama of the evening, in more detail later. And in detail, but for now, let's focus on the person. Well, it turned out to be the anti-hero of this match. Alas, it's Vinny Jr. And it wasn't easy for him, even before the match. There was no doubt that Atletico fans would once again prepare for the Brazilians' arrival. The footage shows them in front of the stadium singing songs and calling Vinny Jr. a squirrel monkey again. Then we will tell each other for a long time that there is no racism in Spain. But honestly, I just can't imagine when this will ever stop. At the same time, I admit that the Madrid players are starting to have more and more issues with Vinicius Jr. So, for example, take a look at this moment. Jude is beside himself with rage. He just went in for the tackle and interrupted the attack. Atletico, but that happened after Vinny Jr. lost the ball and didn't play defense. Jude turned around and yelled at the Brazilian. And you remember, there was a recent episode when Vinny Jr. also didn't return to defense, and Luca scolded him. And then Valverde got involved too. Well, now Vinicius Jr. also caught some flack from the fans in this match for the missed penalties during the second half. Mbappe earned the penalty. Vinicius Jr. stepped up to take the penalty because he's the regular penalty taker, but the ball flew away after his shot. Somewhere, into the sky. Vinicius Jr., I love you, but Mbappe takes penalties better. Don't touch the penalties anymore, Vinicius Jr. Mbappe is better. Let him take it. We've got Mbappe. I think there should only be 1 person for penalties. I laugh at how quickly people's opinions change because Vinicius Jr. is definitely the guy who should be taking penalties, and Carlo has said that. However, Vinny Jr.'s previous 7 attempts to approach the ball were successful. What happened now? But it happens. And it happens even to the great players, at the most critical moment. Here's Jude's reaction when Vinicius Jr. missed the penalty. He immediately went up to the Brazilian and supported him, because really, this is a crucial moment. But it's not a disaster yet. We fully trust Vinicius Jr. He has already scored. There are a lot of important penalties for us. Sometimes it's not the quality that decides everything, but endurance, self-control, and mentality. There are certain ways to win matches, and we know how to do that. There was another moment in this match in the first half that sparked a lot of controversy. Look at that, Vinicius Jr. once again involved. He passes the ball into the box to Mbappe. But the ball hits Simeone Jr.'s hand. The referee doesn't see a foul here. As far as I understand, VAR didn't even look at this episode. Although, it's obvious that Simeone's hand is in motion and he's interrupting the flight of that ball. So that should be a penalty 100%. Why wasn't it called? What's happening again that's not in Madrid's favor? I'm having a hard time answering that. And you can write in the comments what you think about this. Well, Vinny Jr. didn't finish this match, didn't make it to the penalty shootout because Carlo substituted him in extra time. Atletico fans tried to provoke the Brazilian again to insult him, but he pointed to the logo on his shirt. And he gave a very clear and correct answer. Madrid has 15 wins in the Champions League, while Atletico, let me remind you, has 0. In the end, Vinicius Jr. got the lowest rating on the team for this match. And you know I always look at the ratings on the Madrid fan app, the ratings for the players. And here, a 4 really matches how Vinicius Jr. played in this match. I have nothing more to add. I would give Valverde a higher rating here because he not only played 120 minutes and scored in the penalty shootout, but he's also not in optimal condition, and yet, morally, in terms of willpower, he really pulled this match through. I think he's a true leader for Madrid. And once again, we found confirmation of this. Well, of course, Courtois. That's genius. It's just genius how he saved the team throughout this whole game. And Madrid only conceded once, although Atletico had plenty of chances to score more. And here we come to the most climactic part of the showdown. Madrid Derby. The penalty shootout. First of all, let's note that Courtois was talking about something with his teammate Lunin before this series started. I don't know, maybe the Madrid goalkeepers were explaining some nuances of the opponent's shots to each other. Valverde later admitted that he was really nervous before his shot. Yeah, and let's be honest, we were really on edge during that penalty shootout too. I was really nervous when I stepped up to the spot, but thank God we won. And here's Carlo. He was really keeping a cool head under pressure, like a true experienced coach, and he changed the list of players who were supposed to step up for the penalty. At first, the choice fell on Endrick to take the 5th penalty, but the coaches noticed that he was not very confident when he was asked to take this penalty. And then Carlo made the decision to send Rudiger to take the 5th shot. But who else? Rudiger stepped up and took the shot. He finished off that penalty shootout. Bravo. Antonio. Well, the main event of the penalty shootout that's still being talked about today is, of course, Alvarez'S shot. And the Atletico player really got unlucky here. His leg slipped. He touched the ball twice. It's rare in football, but it does happen. And the ball ended up in the net, but VAR checked everything and the goal was disallowed. Everything was done perfectly according to the rules. Indeed, Alvarez had 2 touches on the ball before it ended up in the net. By the way, who was the first to notice that there were 2 touches on the ball by Alvarez? That's Mbappe. Look at his gestures. He turned around and showed 2 fingers. That was Mbappe's reaction. Then Bellingham joined in, and after that, the referees sorted it all out. Simeone was really upset after the match about the disallowed goal, and he went off on the journalists. But what did they do wrong? Who among you saw that he touched it twice on the ball? Raise your hands. Well, Mbappe immediately raised his hand, so you can. Let's turn to Kylian, because he was the first. But then Simeone calmed down and took a realistic look at the lost Madrid derby over the 2 matches. Look, I'm not talking about luck. I'm talking about how proud I am of this team. They always beat us in the Champions League, but we make them suffer. We really did suffer, but we endured to a 1-4 finish in the Champions League semifinals, my friends, and I congratulate you on that. Our journey continues, and this hard-fought victory gives us the confidence that we have everything ahead of us. That's good too, because this team has character. But here's another detail, the emotions we felt when it was all over. An Atletico fan throws a bottle from the stands at Jude, and look at what Jude does. He doesn't dodge, he jumps up and plays it with his head. Now, that's the mood. I think you were also in that kind of ecstasy, like Jude in that situation. Next up, our opponent in the Champions League semifinals is Arsenal from London. Yeah, they're a tough opponent. Honestly, Arsenal under Mikel Arteta isn't in the best shape this season. So, I think Madrid should be able to get past them too. We have all the resources for that. And I think right now you could even place a bet that Madrid will be in the Champions League semifinals. The promo code you see on your screens, you can. Register using the link in the pinned comment, activate this promo code, and real money, I'll say it again, real money will end up in your account. You can go ahead and bet on Madrid making it to the Champions League semifinals. I have no doubts about that. After this, Madrid Derby. Congrats to everyone on the win today. Yeah, and let's be honest, Madrid is always white. Thanks in advance for the like and subscription. I would be very pleased. Thank you for your attention and goodbye. See you soon.